was different. Don't know what it is that made us so indifferent. We're drifting in the dark. Can we do better? Wish I could rewind back to the start. Can we do better than this? Better. You got me high, then drop me can never die, got a lit spirit. Billy on my mind, 99 digits. Cheated one easy, now we no limit. Bitch, I did the time, this is not a gimmick. Clocked in 10,000 hours, peaking Super Saiyan power. Making dough in my tower, kitchen got a lot of flour. Just got out my cold shower, pack a big bowl of sour. Smoke my own brand of flour, look down and wave to all the doubters. Hello, bitch. If you think you got advice for me, keep it to yourself, these bitches all think they so tight with me. Shit. Please tell me what you did, and I'm not talking about 500K likes on your pic, bitch. Y'all stay stressed about exterior, hot girl but her brain's inferior. Woke bitch and my heart superior, flow sick iller than bacteria. Serious, I kill it, that's on period, and I'm doing it prettier. Really though, y'all stay silly though. I can never die, got a lit spirit. Billy on my mind, 99 digits. Cheated one easy, now we no limit. Bitch, I did the time, this is not a gimmick. If Zach is on the track, you know I'ma kill it. See me in my swag, they gon' try to steal it. Make 100 bands when I write a lyric. Love to all my fans, shout out to my critics. Yeah. Gotta screw loose, but my circle tight. Don't let the gram fool you. You can always take your time. You could be a new you, baby, if you work your light. Let's practice some voodoo under the new moon tonight. I was just a little girl growing up in Taipei. Now we selling out the world. 小姐请你排队 We about to feast 现在只是开胃 I can never die 灵魂永不衰退 Got a lit spirit Billy on my mind 99 digits Cheated one easy now we no limit Bitch I did the time This is not a gimmick If Zach is on the track You know I'ma kill it See me in my swag They gon' try to steal it Make 100 bands when I write a lyric Love to all my fans, shout out to my critics. Yeah. I can never die.
I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Diamonds dancing on my neck. That is the vibe I'm on. Way too lit. Who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect and my money long. If you ain't talking money, don't talk to me. I be over here where the bosses be. Pockets on thick cause I eat my greens. Way too hot, 3,000 degrees. No pictures please, cameras flashing. I'm VIP, I'm a big deal. My life a movie, I'm the one they wanna be still. And I'm a queen, yeah. Keep it real, yeah. I keep my circle tighter than an earring piercing. I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Diamonds dancing on my neck, that is the vibe I'm on. Way too lit, who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect and my money long. And they all wanna come to my yard, ice me out and leave me alone. You know I be popping off, switching lanes, swiping cars. They throwing them bags at me, cause obviously I am a star. Run up a check with me, I'll make it rain, I got the funds. That's what I do for fun. I know that you want some, so stop playing games and go run and get you some. I got beauty and brains, I ain't no plain Jane. Cost a lot to maintain, but it ain't a thing. Let's be for real, I'm way too cute to be broke, had to fix it. I'm the captain of the ship, pulling my weight like I'm into fitness. All about my business, feeling myself, I get a witness. A1 treatment like a mistress, dunking on him, I don't miss. I look like a bag of money I'm on, they wanna know what I'm on. Diamonds dancing on my neck, that is the vibe I'm on. Way too lit, who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect and my money long. One thing about me, I stay fly. One thing about me, I'm down to ride. One thing about me, I was born to shine. One thing about me, I'ma get mine. I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Diamonds dancing on my neck, that is the vibe I'm on. Way too lit, who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect and my money long. I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Diamonds dancing on my neck, that is the vibe I'm on. Way too lit, who gon' check? stand being all alone, wasting hours on my phone. I'm ready to go now. On my way, I won't let fear hold me back. It's here to stay. On my way, all of my dreams are now a step away. So here I am, about to explore. I feel I must like never before. I'll take a chance on reaching my shore. My heart is full of hope, I'm on my way and I won't ever stop. So here I am, about to explore. I feel I must like never before. I'll take a chance on reaching my shore. My heart is full of hope, I'm on my way and I won't ever stop. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, turn around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now. I just wanna turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now. I just wanna now and turn around now. I just wanna I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies, all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Water on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself, yeah. I had to prove to everybody else, I had to set them straight, yeah. I had to boss, I had to renovate, I know. They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah. I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna bring me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned in it. I can't dim it down. Yeah, I'm way too fired up. I can't sim it down.
He goes in and he steals the Baron.
Oh yeah.
Escher, the knife.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Battle for Scotland weekly recap. We're gonna have a second attempt at this. Hopefully, Twitch doesn't murder us this week. For those of you who weren't here last week, we got randomly banned about 5 minutes into the podcast. But to remedy that, we are live now on Twitch and on YouTube. So if everything goes down, head over to the Charge Esports UK channel on YouTube to hopefully still be able to catch out the rest of this run. Hopefully we don't get taken down there as well. How are you doing today, Will?
Doing all right, doing all right. We had a great week. How about you?
Not so much, but we're here. We're here. And that's all that matters because we got some cool games to go over. And most importantly, this week, folks, we have the clip of the week. That's going to be coming at the end of the podcast. We're going to be watching over some of those and having a wee chat about them. We have a heater of a clip of the week, and we also have a funny one to be dropping on you guys as well. So this week we had some great games across all games, tons of close series, which is always great to see. Will, do you want to kick us off with Valorant?
Yeah, so I'm just going to kick us off with the scores. So there was 2 FF wins. Shout out Cobbles, because that's the second week in a row that Abertay University has an FF win. That was against Dundee and Angus College, and the other FF win was University of Dundee versus Ayrshire. Moving on to the actual score lines, University of Dundee versus University of Stirling, 2-1. University of Strathclyde versus University of Glasgow, 2-0. And GCU versus St. Andrews, also a 2-0. I think the one game that stands out to me there the most is Strathclyde versus Glasgow Uni. Glasgow Uni obviously making it to the finals last year, and it being a 2-0, and the scores were not really that close either. It was 13-5 and 13-6, I believe. That's pretty upsetting, to be honest.
Yeah, to see the previous winner or the previous second place team to go down in quite a dominant fashion, because I'm not too clued in on Valorant, but 13-6, 13-5 is like a fairly dominant score, right? Like that's a pretty clean win. So it's not even like you can, because sometimes when it's only best of 3 as opposed to best of 5, some people can go, got cheesed, or they pulled out some stuff that we just weren't ready for, etc., etc. But this was just a clean 2-0. There was no clapback from Glasgow. So we might be seeing a new team sort of rising to the tops of these ranks. And what I think is really cool about it as well is this means things are going to heat up a little bit for Battle for Glasgow this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So the other results, we had a really close series between Dundee and Stirling. Like, I just need to check the round counts on those, but they were very, very close. Are you sure it wasn't Edinburgh versus Stirling?
I think it might be. I think I might have written it down wrong.
Either way, it was a 13-8 game to Edinburgh, and then we don't appear. Yeah, then it was 16-14, so a game that goes OT there for Stirling to pull it through, and then Edinburgh managed to clinch it up 13-7. So we're already getting to that point now. We're in this has just been week 3, so we're getting to the point now where all these games going forward should be really competitive. We're getting to the point now in Swiss where all the teams are closing in on ranks, and I mean, you can see it here. This is like a prime example. We have one OT game, and all the other games were still also really, really close. Edinburgh just managed to reach it out. So really cool series, and I've also like one of the things that I noticed specifically with Valorant, but also with other games, is we're having our new universities and new colleges that are only joining for this season, still actively participating, which is really really cool to see. Cool seeing new teams joining in. So thank you to all the teams that have joined this year and are participating in Battle for Scotland for the first time. We hope you're having a good time.
Yes, for sure. Let's move on to League of Legends. Do you want to give us a scorelines for that?
Yeah, so we actually did manage to get four games this week. Only one FF win, DNA College having to unfortunately FF versus GCU. But our first matchup that we'll talk about, we have three game series this week. Which, when I say things are heating up, they're heating up. Sterling versus Edinburgh went to game three. Edinburgh managed to clinch that out. Dundee versus Aberdeen went to game three. We were doing a bit of trolling. Don't worry about it, guys. And Dundee pulled through 2-1 there. And then Glasgow Uni versus Strathclyde also went to three games with Glasgow closing out 2-1. The only 2-0 that we had this week was Stirling versus Edinburgh, which Stirling actually managed to take 2-0, which is really interesting given that Edinburgh
Definitely, yeah.
won last season of Battle for Scotland.
100%. And it also being a 2-0 victory, so it wasn't like one serious. It just went, yeah, we took both serious home. That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the games, it was fairly dominant performances each time. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong. Obviously, we only see the post game lobbies for these kind
Yeah.
of things, which doesn't always give the full picture at all. But in game two, especially, it seemed like it was really strong there for Sterling coming through. So yeah, just a good performance there, taking down the previous champions. Obviously, they're far from
Hmm.
out yet. We're still in the Swiss stages. A loss here does not put you out the tournament at all, it just affects that seeding. So who knows? We could see Sterling run it all the way to grand finals. They could be one of our top contenders now.
Yeah.
But equally, what I think I'm more excited for, and this isn't to devalue the Sterling performance at all, I'm excited for the Edinburgh losers run because I'm not exactly sure if Edinburgh might still be able to make it through winner's side if they win their next set, but I think this might put Edinburgh in the loser's side, which means we could see one hell of a run from that team if they want to get to grand finals.
Absolutely. All right, let's move it on to the next game. Overwatch 2. So our scores for that, we had three matches and one match I believe is still to be played. So it was University of Edinburgh versus University of Glasgow, which was a 3-1 victory for University of Edinburgh. University of Dundee versus University of Stirling, which was a 3-0 victory for University of Dundee. And the Aberdeen University won 3-0 versus GCU.
Now, I'm pretty sure here, Will, all three of these matches would be considered upsets if we go by last season. Am I right?
Yeah, you could say that. I think University of Edinburgh and University of Glasgow is one of the less upsetting ones here. I think
Mm.
all the other ones are quite upsetting. Although when we talk to obviously Dom Dom and Sheep in week one, they mentioned the strength of the Aberdeen University
Yeah.
team and that the GCU team lost some of their big players. So this one is definitely an upset, but I think it was also somewhat foreseeable.
Yeah, the writing was on the sand. It's just good that we finally got the game played and we can see the result.
Mm,
And it comes back to, we talked a lot about it in the sort of opening podcast for the season, that you know the unique thing about the university scene as opposed to other things is obviously you get team and roster changes in mainstream esports all the time. But generally what you'll have is you'll have, three, maybe even four solid members, and then
yeah.
one or two players swapping out. It'll be like minor changes. Sometimes it changes the dynamic of how the team works significantly, but quite often it's
Mm,
just a different player slotting into the same role.
yeah.
What we see more frequently with university teams is that there's huge changes every year. There's been teams this year where all five players that were on the roster last year have either graduated or aren't playing this year, and you've
Hmm.
got an entirely new squad. So really unpredictable.
Yeah.
One thing that I do want to emphasize, just so that nobody gets the wrong message, when we are saying these games are upsets, that's not to rag on the teams that have lost. That's not to say, hey, you guys have dropped the ball. That's to say, well done to the teams that have won it, and just bring attention to the fact that these rosters are changing, that players are getting better, teams are getting stronger, and we're always looking to raise up our teams and not tear them down. So when we're saying they're upsets, that just means they're matches that we didn't expect to see go that way. And congratulations to the teams that actually did make that happen.
100%. Shout out to University of Dundee, 3-0 victory against University of Stirling. Very, very solid sweep there. I know you're going to be happy about that one.
It's just another day at the office for the University of Dundee. Now, just aside, our Overwatch folks are incredible. And I think I don't want to be peddling misinformation because I'm not sure exactly what roster I ended up playing, but this I don't think is actually our strongest iteration because the Overwatch team, what they decided they wanted to do was for Newell and NSC, they wanted to put their best foot forward, stick the A team in there. So I think this is sort of a composite team for Battle for Scotland that we've got, where it's like a few members of the A team and a few members of the B team. So if this isn't, if I am right and this isn't the strongest iteration of the team, that is a really good sign going forward. And we might even be in title contention for Overwatch, but we'll have to see. I never like to say these things too early because I feel like I have the worst case of caster curse, and I just damn my team and damn the University of Dundee whenever anything like that goes down. But yeah, it's a strong performance this week. Hopefully we can keep it up and see ourselves in the winner's side of the playoffs bracket, but it remains to be seen. Now, moving on to CS2, we have one CS2 result for the week. CS2 struggling as always for player numbers. Just with the change of the games and the way the seasons have ended up working out, I think it's in a transitionary period. I'm not that worried for Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike will always live on. It as the immortal game. We're just in a transitionary period right now, so I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Absolutely.
But the one result we do have, I think fairly what we were expecting, DNA College versus Abertay, 2-0 to Abertay. Abertay always been incredibly strong in Counter-Strike. That's just always been the case. They're very strong players. So it is expected to see that here. Dundee and Angus College do have a pretty strong CS team. So I think even though the scoreline was 2-0 here, I don't think that's quite indicative of the actual sort of power levels of the team. I wouldn't be surprised if this matchup was our round one winner side matchup, for example, when we get to playoffs bracket. Like that is a very realistic possibility.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I think moving on to the last game then, Rocket League. There were a couple of games. From what I can tell, it was a GCU win versus University of Glasgow due to an FF.
Yep.
And then it was GCU versus Dundee and Angus College, which went 3-2. So that was a pretty tight series. And then Ayrshire versus Abertay also went 3-2 for Ayrshire.
Yeah, I mean, this is, even though it's not two W's for college, this is the exact message that we were talking about when we were talking about the games we were expecting, because it's so incredible as well, because all these esports groups at these universities and colleges, they're so new. They've only been around for maximum, I think, 2 years. Most of them around for like 1 year or less than that even. And they're already getting up there. They've got great players, great team synergy, and they're managing to take games off of the universities and be competitive in these leagues. It's so impressive. I have to shout it out every time it comes up.
Yeah, definitely. I think the fact that colleges are also, compared to university, you stay there for usually 4 years. College, you usually stay there for 2 years, 3 years maybe, which means university teams oftentimes have played since they joined year one, played through year 2, year 3, have a lot of synergy together, a lot of teamwork. So I think college is performing really well in Rocket League is a really great sign for what is to come for the other titles as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more competition there as well.
Yeah, I mean they're playing incredibly well. Obviously, that's not to put down on any of the university teams. It really is just the colleges are stepping up. They're making it really competitive, and especially in Rocket League. Rocket League feels like the college's main battleground where they're really able to stick it to the universities and play incredibly well. So always impressed with the results there. I am actually just going to highlight, we haven't reported on one of the scores there. We're looking into what happened. There was some confusion with check-in times and other things like that. It's currently under review. There'll be an update posted about those results soon. But I think that's all the results that we've got, Will. Is it time to head into the clip of the week?
I think it might be. Our clip of the week is from the Valorant matches of GCU, and specifically from the player Shonky, who pulled an amazing eco round. Let's check it out.
Still baiting everyone, by the way, so. Really, the same round as last round.
No, now? Yeah, good day, sir.
Got it. It's a natural hit.
Oh. Jesus. Clean.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. That was some very clean shots. And I mean, that was definitely an important round for them. Getting the deagle. They lost round one, pulls out the deagle, bam, 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 3 kills.
That's I think one of the things that's so great about that is not only is it game changing in the progress of the match, because if you're on an eco, you're down, being able to get kills like that, even if you go on to lose the round, making them lose 3 guns is great.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's been a lot of conversation recently across all social media about whether or not momentum is a real thing in esports, which, by the way, it absolutely is.
Absolutely.
It exists in every sport.
Yeah.
It's a very real thing. But the momentum swing that causes, your team is down, you're losing rounds, you're on an eco, you need to try and get back in the game. When one of your players just goes dink, dink, dink across the board, everyone's popping off, everyone's going crazy for it, and it's just a complete mood swing for the team.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
impactful, not just like in terms of raw numbers and guns, just great for the team as well. So incredibly well played there.
Definitely for the team playing, but also for the team that's facing them in this round specifically. This is the round they should have won. So for them, it's also like a full 180 momentum switch where they were going into the round thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be an easy round, and then it ends up not being.
Yeah, incredibly well played there. Now, I believe we have one more clip. We've got 2 clips submitted this week. Make sure you guys submit your clips. We want to go through as many of them as possible and have a look and get the highest quality clips we have. But we want to show this one off because it gave me a good laugh. It gave Will a good laugh.
Yeah, this is our honorable mention.
The honorable mention for clip of the week. That's us again.
Oh, yeah. That's the clip of the week. All right. There we go.
There we go. Beautiful. Look at this. Smooth moves from Dundee player, biggest chungers. Look at that. Walks in a straight line. Incredible stuff. Support difference.
Support differential.
But with that, I think that's us for this week. Well, anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think good games, some upsets, some things predictable. Really good games across the board. Yeah, as you said, post clips and clip of the week. Maybe in the future we'll give out a little prize with it. We'll see. But for now, I think that's us. Pretty short stream today. And we'll probably see you guys next week then.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you next week for the weekly recap for week 4.
Bye-bye.